Amazon founder and CEO Jeff Bezos officially stepped down on July 5, 2021, handing over his chief executive title to Andy Jassy, ending a more than 2-decade run leading the company. So why has the world's wealthiest man stepped down from the day-to-day operations? In this video, we're going to look at exactly why now and what the new CEO looks like. From its evolution of we sell books online to we sell everything, Amazon is responsible for $1.75 trillion in global retail sales. Bezos decided that it was now the right time to step down from his position. We chose that date because it's sentimental for me. The day Amazon was incorporated in 1994, exactly 27 years ago, Bezos said in his last shareholder meeting as Amazon's CEO. Taking over is Andy Jassy, who is the right-hand man of Bezos, formerly the head of Amazon's cloud computing division, Amazon Web Services. Jassy has been a long-term resident at the company, 24 years to be exact. Jassy is going to be an outstanding leader and he has my full confidence, Bezos said. He has the highest of high standards and I guarantee that Andy will never let the universe make us typical. He has the energy needed to keep alive in us what has made us special. So why step down now? Bezos' departure as CEO comes at both a crucial and interesting time for Amazon. Off the back of a global pandemic, demand for its Amazon services, not limited to its core business, meant soaring profits and a drive in hiring. But with more money came more problems, as regulators started to ask questions about how big Amazon had gotten. It's pretty hard for Bezos to stay off the radar, being the richest man on the planet and one of the biggest companies. The occasional black tie party with A-listers and the odd yacht purchase does not exactly bode for a life in the shadows. This being the case, moving Bezos away from the spotlight from Amazon could shun external criticism. It appears to be a common fable among tech giants, whereby founders relinquish their CEO title due to external scrutiny. With one caveat, the title goes, but the power largely remains. Google's co-founders found themselves in a similar position back in 2019, with constant external scrutiny being applied. As such, the executive titles disappeared in exchange for special stock options that gave them strong voting rights. Bezos, on the other hand, remains Amazon's largest shareholder by quite the margin. As of June, Bezos owned 51.2 million shares, which equates to 10% of Amazon common stock. The closest shareholder after comes the Vanguard Group at around 6.5%. In a nutshell, Jeff Bezos still holds a lot of power, so for any overarching company changes and decisions, Bezos' position will be a strong one. It is also inevitable that both Bezos and Jassy will make time for each other, with requests largely out of respect, as the two have been side by side for nearly 30 years. Jassy was Bezos' shadow, fulfilling a chief of staff figure within the company, with the intention of training up-and-coming strong talent. Jassy then found himself part of the elite leadership team named the S-Team. Someone who paved the way for what change in the top job looks like, another Seattle tech giant, Bill Gates. In 2000, Microsoft was a behemoth company, facing antitrust issues and the threat of being broken up by the US government. It was tough for Bill, as he was a leader hell-bent on complete control. As such, he went on an image overhaul to be seen as the world's greatest philanthropist, all the while still holding the significant power at Microsoft behind the scenes. So, has Bezos actually left? Bezos may be leaving from a PR perspective, as in on the 27th anniversary of Amazon being founded, but he has no intention of leaving the company itself. Like most founders who wield such power on the global tech stage, he is doing what consultants call transitioning to become the executive chair, which from his perspective is that he will become an advisor to the incoming CEO. This is straight out of the playbook of Gates at Microsoft and Schmidt at Google. It all seems sensible but was not out of choice. The resounding message is that Bezos still has the keys. Remember what we said earlier about Bezos owning 10% of the shares. This alone means he has the power to hold up or create decisions on the firm's strategy and operations. Bezos is a smart man and will want Amazon to thrive with or without him at the public helm. While Jassy, the new CEO, will want to make his mark, I doubt he's going to reinvent the wheel on smooth sailing operation. And if he does want some radical changes, he's got to run it past Bezos first. Who is taking over? Andy Jassy is the new Amazon Chief Executive Officer. What we know about Jassy is that he is a close confidant to Bezos after joining him early in 1997. He drove the cloud computing section known as Amazon Web Services, AWS, since early 2003. And full credit to him, AWS has been massive for Amazon. In fact, it brings 42% of Amazon's total profits. It took the company from commerce to enterprise technology. Amazon now competes with tech monsters such as Google, Oracle, Microsoft, IBM, and SAP, and it is firmly in their league, which is quite something given it was not its core business offering. AWS was always a low-margin business model, working with high volumes, offering both hardware and software solutions. Safe to say, Andy is doing something right. What's next for Bezos? Well, if you have £146 billion as your net worth, I think the 57-year-old has a few ideas up his sleeve. Bezos is going to be spending money on personal projects. I'm assuming that means floating a yacht off the Amalfi Coast while picking up the philanthropic side of life. Bezos also owns the Washington Post, so expect more involvement here. However, more publicly known is Bezos' interest and passion for his private spaceflight company Blue Origin. Bezos, his brother Mark, a mystery guest who paid £20 million for a ticket, let's hope he gets air miles points, and Wally Funk, a female 82-year-old who missed out on going to space back in the 60s despite undergoing astronaut training simply due to her gender, will take the maiden journey together. Amazon is quite the company. With what appears not limits, what would you like to see the company venture into next? Let us know in the comments. You never know who just might see this video.